Still there, Lianne?
I'm here. Yeah. Sorry, we're just
making sure we're not losing you again.
Yeah. You're so sweet to worry about me.
Miss you.
I know. I miss all your sweet faces.
Oh, I'm lonely. I'm sitting all by myself.
All by herself.
I wish I could fix that. You're sitting with us in our hearts.
You're here in spirit.
It is kind of like having a little seance with like a ghost in the TV.
Lianne ghost.
Lianne
Ghost toast.
I don't want to be a ghost.
ghost is the most.
Finally, all my dreams have come true.
How do we do this
We're gonna haunt you bitches.
Oh, wait a minute.
I
don't need any more ghosts in my house. I have to work on it. I bought a pair of haunted lamps the other day. I'm not happy about it.
Why aren't you happy about that? That sounds amazing.
No.
That sounds
I don't like ghosts.
You don't like ghosts?
No, they need to stay in my house.
out.
Well, you can have mine.
Are they nice?
I don't know. They like to live in my lamp.
It's like a gypsy looking lamp with all these like, crystals hanging off of it.
Krystal has a
It
crystal
just
lamp?
sits there and like moves on
It's just one lamp. The other one was perfectly still, and then we looked at the other one, and all the crystals were moving, and I'm like, oh crap.
No!
And I bought them at an auction for $6, and I was like, yeah, this is such a great deal. And I was like, I bought a haunted lamp.
This
Just
is
my luck.
fun!
Oh no.
Just my luck. But they're antique looking, and they're made out of brass, and they have the crystals hanging out. They're so pretty. And I was like, yes.
Just ever so slightly evil. Ever so slightly cringy.
The blackness in my heart.
Extension of you. So, yeah. Anyway, so Tori's getting ready. What is your charisma bonus or
My persuasion's plus 5.
persuasion plus 5? Alright. So I'm going to roll now to see.
Glimpse at the future.
Well, no. I mean, it would work if you were actually stone in person, but just for shits and giggles, your sleight of hand is 0, you said, right?
Yes.
I'm actually going to roll that so that you don't know how long you stowed it, but you might be able to bluff your way out of it.
Okay.
You get advantage.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm a bluffy bitch.
So, 7 o'clock rolls around. Who's up?
Me.
Okay. Your time's over. The 6 of them are like panting, sweaty, tired, spent.
And I look radiant.
And you're glowing and ready to go still. And so you're laying on the bed, just kind of, everybody's just kind of laying there tired, and the pretty young dwarf with brunette hair and E-cup boobs, she like looks over at you and she's like, how do you,
I flick my hair and I go,
Wow, it hurts. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. Well, this is unusual, but I mean, it's like our time. Like, are you good?
oh yeah, I'm great.
They all kind of crawl up, and most of them kind of filter out the door, but the dwarf, she's like the last one heading out, still like putting on her clothes, she kind of turns back and smiles and said, "That was fun. You should call sometime, maybe if you want." Ask for me.
What's your name?
I could go by name. Yeah. Wasn't the name that my daddy gave me, but it's what I go by these days. Anyways, everyone, it's been fun. Take care.
Bye. Thanks for fun.
Alright. So they all filter out, and then you understand that it's probably time to get ready for the party, which you currently smell like you had sex with 6 people.
I'm gonna
Just
take
one
a
beer.
I'm gonna take a quick bath or shower, rather.
Alright, so what are you doing about your armament situation? Are you like stowing weapons on your person or what?
No, I'm just gonna wear the dress and carry my courtesan
Alright,
bag.
well, the courtesan kit includes a dagger and a hand crossbow, so that's
Okay, well, I'll leave
part
the
of your-
hand crossbow home,
well,
but my dagger's hidden.
You are a spy. Like, that is what the courtesan kit is your spy toolbox. I mean, there's no reason to leave it because you have a great chance of succeeding in hiding another person. You do this for a living.
Alright, yeah, I'll try and hide it then. Because my dress, I want to say like long sleeves and like a dark lace.
Yeah, you get the idea that like they have very not Victorian era. What was it that you said? Right, but I think it was Edwardian. Yes, they have a very Edwardian type of like dress. So I mean, if you are trying to match that and like look like you belong, then that's what I imagine you got. Although if you didn't, just tell me what you got. And I mean, you don't have to dress like that.
I can't remember the picture of my dress, but my dress is like the black lace and I have the steampunk hat, and then I have a big black jewel eye patch. It's really pretty.
So what is your sleight of hand to hide your stuff? Which you get advantage on that, and you get advantage on the tools, so you're actually getting 4 rolls because you're a rogue.
Sleight of hand, where I'm not seeing it.
Dexterity.
Okay. So it's a +5.
Okay. So
We don't get to do anything. We find out later.
you know what you're doing. You have done this 100 times, and you put on your dress, and you slide the hand crossbow up your sleeve. You know that you can just flick your wrist and it'll come out, but it's padded and it's flexible, so if somebody touches it, it just feels like a part of the dress. You have your...
me.
What's that?
Uh-oh.
Oh no. What did you miss?
Are you back? Or...
Here.
Okay. Where did you miss?
Somebody slipping a weapon up somewhere and then...
Oh yeah, so, Callie, you know, she's a rogue. She has a hand crossbow up her sleeve. Her purse's handle, she knows that if she twists it a certain way, it'll, or no, it was lipstick that turned into a dagger.
Yeah, no. The lipstick.
Yeah, the lipstick was a dagger, and
No. The lipstick holds lockpicks. The bottom doesn't hold lockpicks. The purse is a garrote. Is that how you say that?
Mhm.
And then I have stilettos that have daggers hidden in the tips.
And then in the side of the boot.
Yeah.
As part of the horns. Okay. So you are you are geared up the way. I mean, you're in your element. All right. Who's next?
I guess I'll go.
All right. So getting ready for the party.
I put on my lovely new outfit.
Okay.
I leave my armor and my shield and my weapons at the place, but I do take my holy symbol with me.
That's fine. Okay. And last up, Tether. What's Tether do?
So I just try to conceal one of my daggers. I do have 2 of those, and that's all I need to do to get ready. I'm sort of a walking death machine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is your sleight of hand or method of trying to get those daggers in the door?
I'm just gonna use sleight of hand. Let's see. I have a +5, so that's a 10.
No, honey. I'm actually making those rolls in secret, so you don't know. Yes, because you wouldn't know how well you have them hidden.
Very true.
But just to throw it out there, you know, you as a sorceress, I mean, if you're stabbing things, I feel like you're not, you know, I mean, you got like unlimited cantrips that are like way more effective than a dagger. Is carrying a dagger really worth the risk?
Well, what if I get gagged or something?
Very unlikely, but possible, I guess.
But if you're with us, do you really think like
Plus, isn't one of the
I mean, basically, it's I mean, if you want to do it, you can do it, but it's a risk management. You know, is it worth it? Is the question.
No, probably not.
Like I'm useless without a weapon. So
Right. Right. I mean, daggers leads better than punching people, but then, you know, swords leads better than a dagger, but, you know, you take what you can get. But you are a weapon, so... Alright, so you get dressed up. Is there anything else that you, like, anybody else is trying to bring in that probably wouldn't get across the gate?
I don't think I can sneak in a shield, so...
I am
You
gonna
actually can, like... If you want to kind of like go as a, an Edwardian knight, kind of like a mix of like, you know, like proudly displaying your shield and your armor, like you could do that.
Could I put pieces of my armor on and then have the shield and just it be part of my outfit?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I can't go in like, oh, we're full champion, but like,
well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I mean, I'm not like a real stickler for taking everything away from players. I mean, armor they would care about a lot less. I mean, they are a very militaristic house. They probably would respect people that are fighters at heart, which I mean, paladins, you know, you are martially trained. You are a fighter, but with divine magic. So, yeah, that's fine. If you can take your shield, just weapons are the issue, but I mean, you can have it like strapped to your back.
have my shield strapped to my back, and then I guess maybe pieces of my armor like on my limbs.
Yeah,
Because I've been crippled before.
Pauldrons, gloves, greaves, all things will help. So yeah, that's fine.
I'm only going to take some of my gold. I'm gonna take 100 and then leave the rest.
I've never penalized people for carrying around gold. It's just tedious.
Okay, so you're not really worried about it. Okay.
Not really. I'm going to assume that once you guys start like having lots of money, that you will probably not. I mean, not everybody who's put it in. Plus, how many things really hold? I imagine that you will probably use a bank or something, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't really, that's just kind of stuff anyway, it's not really, that's just tedious to keep track of. I'm more about getting some fun than worrying about little things, so, alright. Are y'all, like, good to go? Because, like, there's no take backsies.
Does Adric want to strap on some armor or a shield like I am, or are you just going?
So, like, no potions, no, like, your pack. You're not carrying your pack. So, I'm going to assume you have nothing other than your person and the things you mentioned. So, for real, you need to, like, check your gear and see if there's something you want to take.
Health potion in my
You don't have to, I mean, health potions are perfectly fine now.
Okay.
I'll take some health potions too.
I mean, that's fine. Just whatever you want.
You got one session.
I got a water breathing potion, which I don't know how that would help me.
I have two, so I'll give you one, just in case you need it. Tyler, do you have any?
I don't know. I don't have any choices.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, like, we have a cleric who can heal,
Yeah.
and then we also have, like, I wouldn't mind giving up a potion so that someone doesn't die.
You could swing by a store on the way.
I give Tether one of my two
like
potions.
50 gold for a health potion?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I give Tether one of my two
Okay,
potions.
so you can get one.
Yay!
Okay.
Gifts.
Alright. So, once again, if there's anything that you don't state you're taking, do not say, "Oh, I'll pull up my blah blah blah," because you're not carrying the full kit.
No, I think I'm good.
All right.
Well, I'm bringing the invitation, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. That would definitely be good. Alright. Well, then, it's time to leave if you want to get there on time, or you could always be fashionably late. But it's up to you.
I'll get there in time.
Yeah, let's get on time.
Unless you guys want to be fashionably late.
I will be fashionably late.
Are you sure you want to
I don't want to
set
split the
up?
party.
Yeah, if you want to be late.
If anyone wants to be late, we can be late. I just don't want to like.
My thinking is we might not all want to arrive at the same time.
But you can walk there.
They know where
Yeah, and Tavern has invitations, so it's not like we all have separate invitations. You know, so we have to go together.
I prefer to be fashionably late.
Okay,
That
are
way.
you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, so party starts at 8. How fashionably late are you want to be?
5
15
minutes?
minutes.
5 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes is the like
5 minutes
fashionably
isn't even late.
Okay.
After that, you're just late.
So we'll do 15 minutes.
Well, you'll have to me again.
Uh-oh.
Alright, so we're going to be 15 minutes late to the party. Did you hear
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Okay, cool. If like the connection starts getting gnarly, just tell us and we'll. We'll wait. Anyways. Okay. So, are you guys taking a
I'll pay for the Uber this time.
Uber? Wow, I keep forgetting that.
Uber.
Okay. Well, so I think it was like 4.
Yeah, it was 4 gold per person last time.
Yeah, but you're going to the
Yeah,
register
so we're
and
going
now it's
together.
so it's 1 more. So 5 gold per person.
Okay. So 20.
Or well, that's fine. So you guys, since you're in a group, you pull up in a little carriage, about 15 minutes late, and you can still see that there's a pretty good amount of other people that are like arriving to the party at the time. There's like a little line of carriages that they pull forward, they unload, guards help people out of the carriages in their fancy outfits. And the same happens for you guys when you pull up. Guards offer to help you out with all your stuff you're carrying. And you are at the estate from earlier. It's just past twilight at this point. There's just a tiny bit of light in the sky, and the manor is just lit up in all kinds of colors that seem to scintillate and change. The fragrant smell of roses is just overwhelming, as it seems to be the dominant plant there. As people line up to get into the door, there is up ahead some kind of checkpoint where guards are like making sure people have credentials to get in, and there is a very nicely dressed woman. She looks far eastern with long black hair, and she is going up the line handing out glasses of champagne to people as they wait to get in the door. So she approaches your group and she says, "Can I offer you any refreshments?"
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Sure, thank you.
Yes, please.
So she hands you all each a glass of bubbly and smiles politely and then moves on. And you guys shuffle up to the door, and like before you get there, you see that people are like getting their like invitations checked, and they are getting patted down. So you know that this is kind of the point of no return.
Pat.
All right. So after just a couple minutes, you are at the line, and there is some very well-dressed but well-armed mercenary types, and they say, "Welcome to the Crow Estate. Can I see your invitations, please?"
Bust it out, Tether.
Oh, I forgot you had it.
Well, here's our invitation. This is my entourage. They'll be with me.
Most excellent. And they look at the card and they wave it by some kind of device that looks like a crystal ball. And as the card gets near it, the crystal ball kind of lights up with a warm pink light. And then they hand it back to you. And they then ask if any of you are carrying anything that you would like to declare, and they can keep it safe for you. They inform you that weapons are not allowed.
Nope, nothing to declare. Thank you for checking, though.
I have nothing to declare.
Alright, so we'll just go, I guess, clockwise here. So, Callie, they pat you down, and you're fine. You know you're fine. They, this is an old song and dance for you.
Mm-hmm.
Tether, there's nothing to find, and so they let her through. Adric has nothing to hide. One of the guards kind of scowls at your holy symbol, but seems to not say anything about it. He himself is what you're guessing is a paladin himself, and he knows the power of the holy symbol, but it's really kind of hard to deny people something that might be very, very personal and close to them. And then they pat you down, and they get a little fresh. I mean, no, fresh isn't the word, but so while you're getting pat down, the guard looks at you like, "What's that?"
It's not flight tasks. Someone was in their pants.
Alright, so go ahead and roll with advantage. Persuasion check.
Please work.
Oh. With advantage, you roll twice.
Correct.
Okay,
It
I
takes a
got
higher number.
21 the first time with
Oh,
my
shit.
persuasion.
Alright, go ahead and roll again, though. But,
Ooh, I got 25 the second time.
so, you say that. The guard smiles. And he says, "Hey, yeah, no problem. I get it. Maybe after the party, come find me."
Maybe.
Smiles and says, "Do enjoy your stay."
Thanks, Dan. You too.
Some people got their kinks, man. So, you all proceed in, and the sight is absolutely breathtaking as you come in. You find yourselves like it's the most grand entrance possible because the entryway starts up on a balcony where you have to walk down a twisting staircase. And so everybody is kind of scanning the visitors and looking at them, admiring them, and you feel hundreds of eyes on you as you head down the stairs. Down below, there is a reception area that has lines of food and drink around the edges, and the decorations are just as exquisite as you can imagine. The people are just fantastically dressed. I mean, there's nobody that's not just absolutely decked out. Even in your very expensive garb, to you feel a tad bit underdressed because some people are wearing ensembles that probably cost 10 times your outfit, but
I'm proud of my outfit.
nobody. It's not saying you're not ugly, but some people are like just displaying like crazy amounts of jewels and finery that you don't really have. But I mean, you have assets that probably distract.
Make any outfit.
My mountains beat everyone.
Right?
Oh my.
I don't know, that guy seemed to like my dagger, so.
Oh yeah. He did.
Takes me back. So, you are in a room with about 600 people in it. There is a set of huge double doors that are currently closed off, but you imagine that the party will probably move into there because it's getting really, really crowded, but it is a very clever device for forcing people to get to know one another. So as you hit the bottom of the stairs, you are not swarmed, but you have people like coming up and like introducing themselves, and you find yourself in kind of a flurry of hellos and handshakes. Some have probably been drinking for a little while at pre-gamed as well, or like kind of offering embraces and kisses on the cheek. How does like everybody like handle that?
Callie's fine with it.
Callie's into it.
Oh yeah.
I greet him back with handshakes going, how you doing, buddy?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, you have people like, oh, Pelor, fucking love Pelor, man. And he's like,
I know, right?
It's the Pelor, we have this delicious wine, and
makes the grains grow so good.
Meanwhile, I'm like,
yeah, it does, doesn't it? Speaking of greens, you wanna? There's a side room here. We could enjoy some of Pelor's greens if you're interested. This is a dashing elven. Looks to be some type of fighter type because he's wearing parade armor. And he kind of goes into his collar and pulls out what you notice to be a little green bag.
yes, that's so great.
It's like, I'm always willing to share with a holy man.
Maybe some other time. I've got to introduce myself to the people, but I'll check back with you if I'm not doing anything at the end of the party.
He seems a little insulted, and he says, "No, it's alright. It'll be gone by then, but do take care." And he kind of storms off a little bit.
Callie, before he walks away, Callie's like, "I'm not holy, but I believe in sharing."
Oh!
Sharing is 100%.
Sharing is
It would be
caring.
a pleasure, and he offers his arm to take yours. And you guys slip off into what looks like a coat. I mean, it's. I'm never gonna punish you. I mean, splitting the party is a huge you can't do that. But I mean, honestly, you can. We did it that last time, and we had a great time with it. So I mean, even then, I could have handled it better, but I It's fine. It's not a big deal. So, just real quick with them. Sitting down with him, he starts rolling up a joint. And did anybody else go with, or was it just Callie?
This Callie.
Just Callie.
Pretty pure paladin.
Okay. So, he like starts rolling up a couple of joints, and he says, "Hey, so like, you are gorgeous, darling, and I'm happy to smoke with anybody, but I'm not buying what you're selling,
Oh,
just
honey,
to throw
that's
that out there."
There's enough love to go around, I understand.
Yeah, I tried. I had a girlfriend once, and ugh, I just could not do it. Literally.
That's okay, honey.
So,
I go both ways. It don't matter.
Well, I mean, I know, but I am so fucking gay.
Just incredibly
you
gay
do
elf
look pretty
knight.
fabulous, just saying.
Oh, thanks, you're a doll. So, those two, like, hang out in, like, this not really well-used coat room, just getting baked as fuck. The rest of you, is there anything in particular that you guys do in this kind of, like, ceremonious, like, meet and greet type event? There's, like, food, you could go hang out in the corner and eat if you wanted to, or you could be social.
I want to be social. I want to meet people.
Alright, so they are, like, serving tons of alcohol at this point. Are you, like, when they're coming by, are you grabbing drinks, or are you trying to stay pretty sober?
I'm trying to stay sober because I'm literally like, if shit goes south, I've got a dagger. Like, I don't like my chances if I'm drunk.
Well, I mean, so one thing that becomes very, very apparent as you guys are meeting people is not all this is House Crow. Like, there's a lot of House Crow members, but you have to remember that anybody can pledge fealty to House Crow and they'll accept them. So there's a lot, but there's also people from other houses, especially young people. The other houses, the ones like that are members of houses that aren't exactly very political, I mean, House Crow throws some pretty damn awesome parties, and they are very well respected amongst people that aren't like politically aligned, like completely against them. And even if they are, still some like members of other houses totally will sneak off and join one of their parties because they're just that good. What?
Last steak, please.
Oh, yeah. So you're meet and greeting, whatever. Okay. We'll get back to you in just one sec. What is Adric doing?
Adric's going to get him some mead because he's going to try to maintain, but not get like shit-faced.
It's not really a mead kind of event, like
or wine or whatever they're serving.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever the
like right now they're serving champagne, and like there's a lot of champagne going around. They don't. I mean, you know that they'll probably introduce some more like heavier wines later on at the actual dinner, but right now it's all about that champagne.
What's Heather doing?
So like you're just like drinking and
I'm socializing and drinking.
Okay. And Tether, what are you up to?
I'm not going to be having any of their alcohol. I had some before I came.
On your person, or you just had some before?
Well, I was drinking with Adric.
Right, yeah, I will remember that, but you're not like implying that you like brought some of your own, right?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not interested in any of their drinks for the minute.
Yeah, so that's fine. So are you like socializing, or are you kind of like...
I am socializing, but who's around, I guess?
You do what now?
Just randos, mostly, right?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people. I was, let's see, with you guys that are socializing, I was going to see exactly who you are socializing with. Anybody that might be an interesting person. Oh, okay. So, going back in that order, I was not prepared to roll that person, but we're going to do this. So, Tori, you see this incredible figure. You see this absolutely gorgeous, and this, you don't know if it's a he or a she. I don't think you've yet heard of brushstroke. They are in this just absolutely fantastic, looks like a very dandy bard type of outfit. And they are what appears to be, you understand that they are a race known as Kinku. I'm not sure how much you know about Kinku, so let's see. I would say probably as a paladin you've had some socialization training, like, which, I don't even, have we done a backstory for your character even? I'm thinking about it.
I mean, like, a very, very basic one, but we haven't, like, really got into, like, where she trained or who she trained with or anything like that.
We should do that sometime because,
yes.
I really want to know, everybody, should have, like, an origin, but I kind of wonder. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, like, what Kinku are pretty rare. They are one of the more rare races. She looks like a large, almost like a pink chicken, but she has a more like pointed, narrow beak. Which I just said she's a she. Anyways, I guess you can figure that out somehow. So you know about Kinku. They can't speak. They have no voice of their own, but they can mimic perfectly. They're said that they cannot create. Mack?
It takes
a second.
No, she has her phone there.
Yeah, there's a lag. It wasn't.
I wanted to put it under the camera so they could see.
Oh, turn it like towards camera when you do that. That's a good idea. So Kinku cannot, it's said that Kinku cannot create something original. They can only copy. But they can copy perfectly. So, brushstroke, you notice, is like you're kind of like milling around. Some people are like very like enthusiastically like go and talk to her, but a lot of the like nobles are kind of like avoiding her. There's like a bit of a circle around her. You can tell there's very much a love-hate relationship going on there, but brushstroke, just kind of milling around like you are, she turns back a glass of champagne with these kind of awkward hand wing things, and she walks up to you and in a very kind of stately dwarven voice, you're, "Hi there, how are you?"
I'm good, how are you?
"I'm doing pretty good, how are you?" She perfectly mimics in your voice.
Oh. Can you only speak in my voice or just say what I say?
I can speak your voice however I want, but I have your voice of my own.
Oh.
I borrow voices, don't be alarmed.
No, you can borrow mine.
Artsy types.
I don't mind if you borrow my voice.
People think I'm weird, but well, I'm pretty weird.
That's okay. I'm weird too.
Yeah, it's fine. I do art. She like points at like a lot of like really, really neat. There's certain paintings she points to, and there's certain like there's a giant mobile on the ceiling that is like these triangular bits of glass that like spin and reflect light in 100 different ways on the wall. And she says, "I did that."
Then you were to just do art. That's beautiful.
If she could blush, she would. Instead, she just kind of kind of puffs up a little bit, and then you hear her like, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, that's my laugh. I laugh a lot. People make fun of me."
I like people who laugh.
A long time ago, when I came into this town, I came here as a pauper, and now I'm the second richest person here. And I'm not trying to brag, but I had no house. My house only includes me, but I couldn't tell them what house I had because I had none. So when they asked me that, they demanded to know what my house was, they mockingly called House Cluck Cluck. And no, it's not. It's a badge of honor, and I run the finest school in the land. It's very competitive. It's absolutely lovely because I find the best, and they create the best. And I'm drawn to certain people, and you yourself are a bit of a piece of art.
Ooh, okay.
Ow!
Ooh. I think you're pretty too.
Could I do your portrait sometime?
That'd be awesome.
It would be. Well,
I love a portrait.
so
Especially when an artist as good as you. Hit him with that cluck cluck. That was inside. That was not Tori. Tori's a little bit attacked. Not a lot, but a little.
that's not right here. Stupid piece of shit.
Oh, my phone went off.
No, it's my internet. Like the window went up to where like, I can't grab it or move it. It's almost going to shut down. Stupid shit. So she gives you the address of the school. She gives you the name of the school, which is Cluck Cluck's School for the Exceptional. And she says that her house is right across from that, and she has a studio there, and she would love if you drop by just anytime.
Well, I'll be sure to do that.
Kind of clucks and ruffles up and says, "Excellent, I can't wait. It's been a pleasure, but I have to, do the rounds."
Work the room, I understand.
I do. There's a lot expected of me. They're always trying to find things to judge me by, and you're new in town, so I don't really want them to say that I'm conspirating with you or anything like that. I hope you understand.
Thank you for your consideration.
Yeah. You don't want to get mixed up with the likes of me,
I
but,
don't think that's true.
well, it's not good for your reputation, but,
Well, I don't have much fun anyway.
yeah, well, that's okay. People here suck pretty bad. Anyways, do take care.
You too.
So, as you are milling around the room, Adric, can somebody pull up Fara Lothron on the characters and put that up for me? So there is this halfling that is very, very pale, and she has brunette hair, except that she has like white skunk stripes going through it. And she's really, really like, it's kind of odd because she looks like she could be 15 or like the equivalent of like 45. She's like this no age, and you really can't tell how old she is, and her, very short stature, even for halflings, makes it even more confusing that she stands at 2'10".
Ooh.
So she is walking around the room. You notice that she is not drinking champagne. She is drinking a glass of water, and she walks up to you after most people are avoiding her, and she's kind of going through the crowd. She walks up to you and she says, Pelor, that's cute. Who are you? I don't know you. I've never seen you before.
I'm new.
Yeah, no shit, I just said that. I'm asking for your name, you dimwit.
Ouch.
What's your bloody name? Who are you?
Bitch.
I be Adric.
I always heard that you,
Okay, she hasn't been all day, okay?
All day?
Yeah, blood's right here.
Oh, yeah.
hi?
Hey, Kinza's home.
I hear. Hi, Kinza.
What's
Just checking the
up?
dog out. I'll have her say, yeah, there she is. She'll be in a minute.
Okay. So, after you tell her your name, she says, Adric. Dwarf names. I like them. Most dwarves are pretty chill, but, it's the humans you gotta watch out for. The humans are always running around doing this crazy shit with their short, miserable little lives. Right?
I choose not to be judgmental of others.
Pelor. All of you just act so goddamn self-righteous. One day you will find the true God. And Pelor, the darkness. So much better than that.
Jeez.
I'm glad I got to talk to the restaurant. She seems mean.
Anyways, you're kind of dull, so I'm going to move on, but if you ever want to be enlightened, do come seek this out. I can offer you true power. The likes you've never imagined with your puny.
Now it's the party.
It's not a party until you get offered dark magic.
Have you been offered dark enlightenment?
I politely say thank you for the offer, but I'm not interested.
Yes, well, we'll see. Good day. And she kind of whips around and storms off.
Can't find her.
I already put it there.
Oh, there you go.
Alright, and so,
Out of game, I'm just gonna refer to her as a righteous old bitch.
alright, so, Tether, there's a certain individual that catches your eye. Airy Fizeros, if you would please. You see this absolutely gorgeous half-elf that is kind of skirting around the edges of the party. You get the idea that a lot of people have a hard time approaching him because he is painfully beautiful. And he definitely is carrying this like really bad boy kind of image.
Uh-oh.
So he kind of glides in towards you with like this unearthly grace. And he's like, oh my god, somebody that actually looks interesting. Hi, I'm Mary. What's your name, beautiful?
Oh, my name is Heather.
That's beautiful. Just like you.
Alright. Aww.
Good God, Taylor.
Glad to know that I don't disappoint.
He kind of reaches out as if he's expecting your hand.
And as I go to take his hand, I accidentally pretend to trip and fall into it.
Oh.
Give me deception, please.
Always.
Deceive
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Deceive those boys.
I rolled a 7. My deception is so it's essentially a 12. Do you mind if I roll that again?
If you have a token, okay. I mean, if you want to, sure. But I mean, he might not care. But
first impressions are important.
okay.
Humor me.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's up to you. I just usually try and, if it's like really bad, I'll like say, yeah, you need to do that. But I mean, if it's really not a huge deal, but yeah, it's
Just trying to save your money.
Anyways, what you got?
Yeah, there we go. 17.
17. Okay. So, you like leaning forward, kind of like collapse in his chest, where he like swiftly and unearthly, as you're falling, he is his arms are immediately up under your like arms, and he's lifting you to your feet. And he says, "Those shoes look like a bitch. They do look good on you, though."
Yes.
They're terrible. Is there somewhere I can take these things off? I'm dying.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, may I help you out?
Please do. Do you mind if I hold your hand?
I can do you better. And he swiftly drops down and scoops you up into his arms.
Oh.
And starts walking confidently across the floor where people split out of his way. You get the idea that this is a big player because
Heather has mixed flash.
people look at him with a little bit of fear, almost, but it's more like reverence. So he walks over and he kicks open the closet room where it's filled with smoke. And
Probably hot box in the coat room.
Callie is with her new friend in there, and Harry sets you down near a bench, kind of waves his hand in the air, and he's like, "Man, this is where the real party is, isn't it?"
You're more than welcome to join.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Callie's probably
Heather, do you smoke?
I do now.
Yes.
Okay. So that's cool. In fact, I have something like I can add to this party actually. And he reaches deep into his pocket and he produces these little pressed pills that
Oh my god.
that are white and are stamped with some kind of elegant
Oh my god.
symbol.
Wow.
And so he says, "Look, I'm gonna go grab some wine real quick so we got something to drink. I'll be right back, okay?"
Oh my god.
Y'all about to trip balls.
Okay, so why can't I have a party like this in real life, first of all?
I
This
mean,
is pretty fucking
just for the
awesome.
record,
And the
I'm gay as
things-
fuck, but airy.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I
the
would
things I would do
destroy
here.
that.
Yeah, oh my god. I'm pretty jealous of
Okay.
Callie and me.
I'm just saying, I'm gay, but man, I would get
That's very.
I mean, there are times you don't have to be gay, and that's one of them.
that.
I met a pretty cool chick though.
You did. You're pretty awesome.
Which kind of fits, because it's like the other awkward important person. So, like, faster than you could imagine, he ducks out, and then just moments later, he ducks back in with, he's holding a wine glass between each of his fingers.
Wow.
He has, he hands out one to each of you, and then he sets the other 4 down. And he takes 2 of the little pills he has, tosses those back, knocks back the wine, and then reaches out as you go to pass him a joint.
Yeah,
And then
ready.
he hits like a huge, like a fucking champ, and then passes it to
So,
Tether.
Callie's gonna say, please tell me you're not gay.
I get that a lot. No, actually, so I don't really advertise this, but I'm actually what's called pansexual, meaning I kind of love everybody.
I kind of love you, not gonna lie. I mean, just saying, you're freaking gorgeous.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but I think I looked over at Tether. He says, "I think I have engagements this evening, but we can certainly hang." So he offers out his hand, and they're full of these little white pills, and he says, "Take 2 of these, and you will be feeling fucking fine in 30 minutes."
Well, I raise my wine glass and ask you to help me.
Help you what now?
Take the pills.
Oh. Okay.
Damn.
So he takes 2 tablets, he drops them on his tongue, and
There
with
we
his
go.
tongue sticking out, he offers them to you.
Holy shit.
Well, I take a sip of wine and let him push the pills into my mouth.
You receive the most epic kiss that you probably ever had. This dude is a playboy. He has done this before. Many times before.
I'm okay with that. I prefer experience.
Tony's gonna do it.
So, I mean, without any effort, he just, like, with his tongue, pushes the pills down your throat with ease.
Yes.
And, you guys sit there and make out, and,
Very good.
your, Callie's new friend's just sitting there, like, watching it with a giant smile on his face, and he, like, looks over and he says, "Well, I wouldn't give a hit that, wouldn't you know?"
Right? I'm right there with you, dude.
Oh my god.
So, you're like my new best friend, and I love you to death, but I'm gonna have to go find somebody, because I'm feeling things right now.
Yeah, there's no way you can watch that and just sit there.
So,
I get it.
yeah, you're definitely my friend, though, okay? Don't ever forget that.
Hey, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be here for a while.
Hey, I'll be back. I'm just gonna go find me a Mr. or Mrs. and I'm good.
Hey, bring me back, Mr. While you're at it.
There you go.
Maybe I'll find
Party
you.
in the closet.
Alright, so, the coat room is very
It's the place
Busy.
to
The
be.
cover's going on.
the real party.
It's a real party.
By the way, did you take the, when you
Oh, yeah.
offered?
Mm.
So, like, what, just like 2 of the
Yeah.
things he was offering? Y'all have no idea what it is.
No.
No, nobody's asked.
He's gonna go
It's a party.
She took 2 and she's going to call into work in the morning. To get the doctor.
She ate it first, so it's not going to kill me.
Well, maybe
Alright.
it's something only he can eat.
So out in the main room, you hear the crystal sound of a very expensive.
I just had a thought.
Oh, God.
What if their characters just did some LSD?
Probably, yeah.
I it's actually a mix of MDMA and mescaline, ecstasy.
Oh my
and,
god! I'm rolling now? Wow!
You're about to.
Yes, okay.
Y'all enjoy.
Callie's looking for a partner, just saying.
I mean,
Oh my god.
We're just out here hyping that she got, like, invited to go.
alcohol,
Yeah.
NDA, mescaline, and pot. I mean,
Good
you're
luck.
gonna be shit fucking faced here. soon.
Yeah.
I really hope we don't get into a fight.
Oh my god, right?
I hope nobody touches my shoes.
Like, you're just going to be like,
Like, you don't even have a weapon. And I'm just here.
I got a weapon, I got my face.
Well, you got your face, okay.
At this point, there's probably pushing 1,000 people to this party. So I mean, what are they gonna do? Just like murder you in public? I mean,
Well, they're obviously getting us all, we're all separated, so maybe they'll murder us in private in various code rooms.
maybe.
Murder by pot.
I guess.
I mean, they've obviously proven pretty good at getting us to split up.
I mean, but who's they? I mean, you've met.
If we do get the battle, it's going to be funny. Because they're going to be like,
Russia.
"Arr," and you're going to be
I
like,
trust
Oh,
It's not.
his name is Eris.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't told me.
Oh.
Eric.
Oh, I thought it was Eris, sorry.
No,
I thought
it's
you
Eri.
were.
Aery.
Oh, oops. Well, you don't need to know his name, that's good.
No, I'm good.
Right?
his name is Mr. Happy Time, because he gave you the pills.
And you're like,
Yeah.
I already know enough about him.
You just know how to say yes, and that's it.
outside the coat room, there's a clear ringing of a wine glass tapped with a fork. Just a clear, and everybody gets quiet. On a balcony up above the large, huge wooden door going into the next room is an absolutely gorgeous woman, and she has on one arm a beautiful, what looks to be like a human man. He's tall, blonde, and he has a really chiseled, like, thick face. Absolutely ripped. And on her other arm, she has a fiery-haired woman that one of you would recognize, but you're not there.
Oh.
And in the middle is, can somebody pull up Eva LaRouge, please?
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, she's the matriarch of House Crow.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yes, I know.
But she's wearing what she's wearing in that picture, and I mean, she looks absolutely exquisite. That's, I mean.
Oh my. Whew.
You missed it, though.
So,
Oh no, I went out of the coat closet because I was gonna go find your missus, and I'm pretty sure I found her.
So, those of you that are in the coat closet, you hear that ring and you hear the silence that follows. Your friend, what was his fucking name? Did I ever get one?
No.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
your very gay stoner friend, he says, "Oh, you need to get out there."
Oh yeah, I'm gone. I got
okay.
up and left when they started making
right.
out.
Choosing
Yeah.
for a leader.
Oh, okay. Well, he
It's just us now.
he steps out, and when that happens, Aries says, "We probably need to step out of here for a minute, but trust me, we can come back to this anytime tonight.
Oh.
Maybe more than once.
Oh.
Open
Oh
invitation.
wow.
Yes, please.
But it would be rude to ignore the hostess."
The hostess with the
I
mostest.
agree and follow him out.
Okay. So he, as you like head out the door, well, first of all, he helped take off your shoes at some point. And what's that?
She's a
Wonderful.
Oh, and as you guys head out of the closet, he takes your arm and seems to want to have you by his side. He doesn't seem to want to let you go.
Aww.
So, Eva, what's that?
I said Donovan too.
Yeah, seriously.
Alright. I mean, Donovan's handsome, but Aries, like, fucking fine.
Yeah, there we go.
So, back in the main room, as you guys come out, Eva has started to speak. And she says, still locked arms with her two companions. And she says, welcome one and all. It is just an absolute pleasure to have you here at our spring festival opening of House Crow. We don't care what house you're affiliated with. On this night, all are welcome. All of us are House Crow. And when that happens, like there's like a loud echoing, like everybody says, "Hear, hear."
I raised my glass.
She then goes on. She says, "So, just in case any of you newcomers aren't aware, we here at House Crow know how to throw a party, and let me tell you, if you are easily offended, you can head out right now."
Uh-oh.
So, we're going to open the doors to the banquet hall. You will be handed a mask. You are expected to put it on and not take it off for any reason. If you don't want to participate, then don't. The rest of you, I hope you all have a lovely time tonight. And with that, the door opens and she turns to each of her partners and gives them a passionate kiss.
Ooh.
And then she turns, locked arms with them, out the door that she came from, so that she's no longer visible. But people start to filter in through the large doors, and there are a host of House Crow guards, and they are handing everybody masquerade masks that every single one is different. But they all are like a mask from your nose, covering your eyes, to your face.
Is there a hat one that I can get? Because I want to cover my eye patch.
Yeah. I mean,
Phantom of the Opera style?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really have a particular say because they just hand you one. But as you go through, they seem to pick one that just seems to fit. And does anybody not go through?
I'm going through.
I'm going through.
So
Is
you
my
are
date
all.
going?
What's that?
Is my date going?
Yeah, he's
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 there.
going there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then here we go.
he kind of hangs back and waits to be in the back of the line. So you all filter into a main ballroom that has easily seating for the 1,000 people that's there. There's just row after row of tables, and it's covered in a beautiful white drop cloth, and there's crystal chandeliers on the ceiling and various portraits around the room, these gigantic oil paintings that depict lots of flesh and lots of debauchery on them. There is more alcohol just kind of shoved into everybody's hand. And there is a symphony orchestra up on a stage, and plenty of room on the stage for other things. But the matriarch, Evelyn Rouge, has disappeared, but everybody else is filtering in, drinking more wine, and there's a bit of, first it sounds like an alarm, as people realize that the masks don't come off. But then there's like laughing about it, like they kind of nervously laugh to reassure themselves, but try as they might, they cannot remove the masks.
I'm good. I look good, so.
Yeah, I mean, I can pull up an image, but I mean,
as long as it fits,
I mean, have you ever seen like a masquerade mask? I mean, they're pretty traditional, but they are like each unique and beautiful. They all have like painted like stripes on some of them. They have like cross hatch and different. Like, everyone has a different design, and some of them have colored feathers or some other ornamental features. Everybody filters into the room. The symphony's playing. Is there anything in particular that you guys do? Most people are either going up to the front and dancing, or they are taking a seat and they're already starting to bring out rare and exotic food that they seem to be like ready to serve like in various courses. But the first course is these trays of what look like pink eggs that have like speckled shells on them, and people are cracking them open to find a perfectly deviled egg, but it's still in the shell. And there is all kinds of other like fabulously interesting treats coming out. Is there anything in particular that you guys do?
I'm gonna dance, and I wanna try to like attract people to my dancing so I can find a partner.
Alright, so
I'll take along to you guys.
What's that?
Oh no, you're there. Okay.
Yay!
Callie's trying to get some interest on the dance floor. So roll a performance with advantage, please. Because you've got some assets to take off.
Oh, that's bad. God, can I? Is it? No, I can't do that. Alright. Well, I was gonna see if I could use persuasion, because I'm trying to, like, in a way, convince somebody, but it's
and
through
if you're talking,
dance.
yes,
Yeah.
but it just dancing.
Mine, I got a 14.
It's not horrible. It's just shy of pretty damn good, actually. We'll get back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Is anybody else doing anything in particular?
I want to see if brushstroke came in.
I'm gonna bust a move too,
Yes.
just for shits and giggles.
All right.
Go for it, Adrian.
So you do that. Brushstroke came in, and she is sitting on the table closest to the band. She seems to just. She's actually amplifying the music by, you realize, singing it at the exact same time in the exact same like tone, and it's like reverberating throughout the room. She's like a little amplifier.
I want to go with brushstroke. I know she can't talk right now, but this is cool.
Well, I mean,
She's a bit busy.
it's just really a neat party trick. She can stop, but yeah, she smiles warmly as you, I guess, sit next to her, and it's really interesting. She's able to eat while doing this. I mean, doing it seems completely effortless.
Does she eat eggs? Because that's kind of cannibalistic.
She does,
Oh my god.
but
Brushstroke.
I mean, just because they hatch from an egg doesn't.
I know, but
Those are your ancestors.
I mean, well, most mammals are at one point an egg. Even humans.
okay, I'll let it be. I was a bit shocked.
So, you two hit the dance floor. Are you like trying to like find suitors or anything there? Eric,
Suitors.
Eric, yeah, Adrian.
Dancing to dance and dancing to attract a lady.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing a bit of a dance.
Okay.
Trying to feel good. Trying to get
He's just getting his party on.
Get your swag on.
Trying to get my swag on.
All right. Give me a performance, and you're a cleric, so I would say you are, some formal training in statecraft. So go ahead and give me with advantage, please.
All right, and
Ari asks Tether if she wants to hit the dance floor while they're still able to stand.
Yes.
I got the number for you when you're ready. 19.
Okay.
I'm busting a fucking
Nice.
move.
So I don't know if you heard that towards Tether.
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay. What say you?
Well, I don't mind going along with it as well.
Okay. So, that's fine. So you guys hit the dance floor, and you two start dancing, and we're about to wrap up here. But so everybody's doing their thing, getting on, and you both dance with some very attractive people that you might have their interests and whatnot. After about an hour of banqueting and dancing and dining and all that, that's when Tether and Callie get fucking hit. So give me Constitution saving throws to see how fucked up you are.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh,
Don't take
man.
drugs at parties, kids. Don't just take drugs from strangers.
It has to be Constitution.
Yes, it does.
For anybody who doesn't know, that's going to make us really, really hyper, I guess.
12.
And touchy-feely and awful.
I mean, have you ever had MDMA?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so wait, you said you feel awful?
Well, I mean, you'll be...
Like
when
awful
I say
to be
be
around?
awful, I don't mean feel awful.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very, yeah. A lot. Like a handful.
So for both, or what did you get?
Oh no!
I got a 12.
And what was you for Tether?
I think
I rolled a natural 1.
Wow.
Tether's
So,
Yeah.
Tether, one moment you're standing, the next moment you're falling as the world just slows down
Oh no.
and your legs turn to jello, and Ari definitely catches you
Aww.
Oh, my jello.
and he carries you off the dance floor. You got
Alright.
I got a 12.
a 12. You barely stand as the room just starts trailing in color. This music that's playing sounds just you feel it run through you. You kind of vibrate with it. You can actually see the music, and you feel every touch feels like an orgasm. Every time you brush up against somebody, it just radiates throughout you. So after you guys are getting your party on for a while, once again you hear ding, ding, ding. And this time she comes out on stage, Evlo Rouge that is, and she has two different people. This time it's two handsome escort gentlemen with her. No, one's kind of one's androgynous. You really aren't sure what their gender was, but they. Anyways, so she says, I hope everybody's having fun, but it's time for the main event, and I would want to know who's willing to participate in that game.
Oh shit. Oh boy. I don't know if I can play a game right now.
Yeah, they're fucked.
Well, I raised my class.
So she, whenever anybody raises their hand, she, points at them and moves them towards the stage. She also says, for those of you that are intoxicated, worry not. That wouldn't be fair to throw you into this game without your wits, so we have ways of dealing with that. But come now, it'll be fun. Anybody else?
Can I walk?
You kind of stumble forward, and one of the guards hands you a no. One of the guards gently takes your arm, and you feel like a little prick as he injects you with something, and 2 seconds later you feel fine.
She good?
Like you sober up instantly.
Well, that's good.
I don't know.
Anybody else? Anybody else for a game?
I'll play a game. I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but.
Alright, so you step forward and you've not been drinking, so
I'm
you're
fine.
fine.
Killing the game.
Anybody else? We're gonna wrap this up here, so.
I'll step forward and.
Okay. So they don't inject you with anything because the dwarf's normal state is drunk.
Yeah, so we're going to that idea.
Ari tugs on your arm and says, "Let's play. What do you think?"
Hello?
Well, I'm pretty incapacitated, so.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry about that because they can, like, temporarily sober you up.
Okay, well, let's do it then. I'm down for a game.
Alright, so he, like, carries you over more or less, and
Well, I would have to let him know that he's such a gentleman.
he says that you are such a lady, and he is really enjoying your company.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys are about to have a great time, not to worry, and they offer to take your hand, and they, unless you're unwilling, they inject your arm with something that sobers you up.
Narcan.
If you don't resist, of course.
Nope, not gonna resist.
Alright, so, like, 5 seconds later, you feel absolutely sober, and you find yourself standing on stage with quite a bit of people. You're not exactly sure how many, and Eva LaRouge goes on, and she says, "So we have been working on an altered reality battleground, a pocket dimension where we can transport your mind, and your body will be here unharmed, but you will be put into an altered dimensional maze. The goal is to find the key located in the center of the maze, and then find the exit, which is marked per team. Teams of 5. Go ahead and get yourselves together now."
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I go to
it's
my
not
group.
weird, but so I imagine you guys get together,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you are asked to head through a doorway, and that's where we'll pick up next time. Is they will start strapping you into these chairs with these clockwork helmets and tubes and whatnot.
Tubes.
Gotta love a tube.
You can't say no to tubes.
You can't. Tubes are the best. So, sorry, I know that like I was really kind of trying to push to like get to a good stopping point there. So, you know,
What date and time is it?
it's like 10 p.m. on the 2nd still.
Okay.
So, I know that you said you had something that you might need to do, Lianne, so if you need to, feel free to run off. Otherwise, we're just
Yeah,
going to do kind of a normal...
we've got to drive off now that Kinza's home.
Okay. Well, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being patient.
Thank you for streaming with us.
Thank you for playing. Like, it really, really means a lot that you made the effort. I appreciate it. We had fun.
I'm so glad we figured something else out.
Yeah. And next session is going to be very combat heavy. So I mean, there'll be some stories here, but I mean, you guys will get to heal some things. Somewhat. But, alright, have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Say bye to Kinza.
Bye, Kinza.
Kinza,
That's what I said.
come say bye.
Boy, Kinza.
Say hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Hey.
bye.
Bye, Kim.
Bye.
Miss you. Bye.
Bye. Have fun.
Thanks. Bye.
Grocery shopping?
You want me to stop the stream now, or?
I think we go and like wrap up if you want. I mean, if we can stop it when we're like done unless you want to. But this way we'll have like everything. This is just to give you an idea of the maze that you're going to be dealing with next time.
That's really cool.
I don't see it. I can't see a view from here.
I can see. Like,
I mean, there's a way to make this full screen so you can see a lot.
you probably.
I can't really see from here, unfortunately. Is there like a full screen option anywhere?
I'm not seeing one because it's a Word document.
What?
It's in a Word
That's
document.
weird. It should be a PDF. That should be a Word document. It's fucking weird. Anyways, so we'll do the post-game wrap-up. So, again, kind of a slower session as far as like, you know, sometimes you're going to have sessions where there's just no combat rolls or anything like that. You guys seem to be totally okay with that.
Yeah.
It's kind of new to me because like the last game and most games you have a few players that are just like always kind of, after a while of not killing something, you kind of get antsy, and so you have to throw a combat encounter. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind doing that, but it's kind of nice to just be able to like focus on telling the story without people having to stop and get the murder on. So as long as you guys are good, I'm good. But if you ever, it's your game. So I mean, if you guys, feel free to tell me, hey, you really need to inject some kind of, adrenaline in there. We're getting to it, but I mean, just,
Well, there was a lot of sessions, like, working
Story-wise,
with
a lot.
the story and then also with the technology going in and out a lot. So hopefully next time we'll be more prepared.
Yeah,
Honestly, it was kind of good that we didn't have a lot of combat because we didn't have to worry about making sure everyone on the stream could see, like, where everything was.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. And, next time we can, I tried to be here early and it just never seems to work out. We got here a little bit early, but the technology really was just not cooperating. So,
Well, the first session using new technology and new apps and everything is going to be a bit of a learning curve. And now that we know what to do, the next session should be easier, and then the next one after that should be easier.
Yeah. I'm just pretty excited that we're doing this finally. We've been wanting to record our sessions for a while now, and we finally are able to do so I'm pretty happy about that.
yeah, I mean,
The cool thing
Go ahead.
is, as it's streaming, I have it set up to record also.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's recording a copy as we're streaming.
Oh, that's cool,
and YouTube also records copies, so it's actually doing it 3 times because YouTube automatically does that.
Yeah,
That's
it
why
keeps
it could be bogging it down.
It's not. It's
Do you need
Just
like
a lot.
surface like this?
I've done this fucking mouse work that I want to be able to see.
I don't know if I can see that one.
No, that's good. I'm just trying. I need to figure out how to get this thing to should be go full screen because I know how to do it on my own computer, but on here I'm just not fucking seeing it. It's really annoying. Anyways, was there anything that you guys? Oh, and I was gonna say before, like worst case scenario, like Kinza could watch it, or anybody that ends up joining, if they end up joining, could catch up if they're willing to sit down and maybe do it as a podcast type thing and listen, since there's really not a lot to look at. But yeah, I mean it's I'm glad. I mean, you know, maybe people will get interested, maybe not. I don't know. So what did we like about session in particular?
I really like the role play.
I really liked it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
was all role
pretty
play.
great.
So.
Yeah, it's all story, but that's
But I like the
Yeah.
intrigue with Donovan.
Yeah,
I really like that. The whole
I like that he came
out of
back.
nowhere, he just walked up in there and
In
took
the
care of
shit.
business and was like,
Yeah, Donovan is a very you guys would be amiss to underestimate him, but he's definitely not yes.
Well, a couple things we need to address is I don't think we have the heavy level because it's been 2 sessions, and also what milestones did we hit?
Yes, you guys are leveled up. I'm
Woohoo!
just getting there.
Sorry, I just was trying to help you out, like with asking questions and stuff.
Okay. So I'm glad you like the role play. I mean, it's just extremely general when like the entire session is literally role play. So
I also
like
like the
meeting the new
diversity of the
characters.
cast of characters we're starting to meet. Like, I like that they each have their own unique quirks and unique mannerisms that just make them stand out.
yeah, I mean, I really appreciate that because here we go. It's very, very. I mean, it's very challenging on my end to you know, constantly come up with these like personalities. Some people already like know, you know, like kind of what their personality is, but a lot of people are just coming up with on the fly. So I mean, I try very, very hard to make sure that people are interesting. People are like, you know, I don't want, you know, if there's ever any like really samey characters, then I feel like I failed. Like if I can't make a person stand out, I mean, not literally every single person, but people that you guys deal with. I mean, I want them to feel like people with, you know, all their own thoughts, motivations, and the only regret I have is that I'm not like a voice actor. Like I don't have that range of voice, but you know, I understand my limitations. So you know, whatever. I'll figure this out at home. But thank you. I'm glad that you feel that way. And I mean, is there like any particular characters that you just really, really like so far? That like, you know, if there's people you want to see more of, like, you know, I can do that. Or if there's people that you're like, oh.
I love brushstroke.
I was about to say I'm
is
biased, but
like-
I really like brushstroke.
Yeah.
I like the
her.
Queen of the Misfits vibe she got.
I really like that vibe about her. She's just such a unique oddity that it
Especially to be like as high
it
up
like
as she
sticks
is.
with you. You're like this is kind of cool in a bizarre way.
Yeah, actually, I mean, when I was like writing the different like senators, like she was tied for my favorite along with one other person, but she has a incredible story, and I hope you guys get to hear it because like to me she's interesting enough that like I would like to play her as like a character if I ever got to play a game, which I have the DM's curse, meaning I don't get to play games, but you know, don't mind. I like DMing a lot, but sometimes it'd be nice to play characters. So yeah, I'm a big fan of her. And some other people that try not to show bias, but I really love Rude. Like I kind of fell in love with her when I created her. She's just like goals in a lot of ways. But anyways, so what about anything else. Is there anything else that that y'all want to like talk about, positive or negative of the game?
This is just like something, and I'm sure we will get to it just with the way it's been going.
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn more about like Shekin's motivations, because so far he was kind of like it's like in, and like we know we're working for him, but we haven't had much interaction with him since.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a little more regular interaction with him, just to know what we're up to. Woo!
Thank God. So
Go team!
yeah, this is the map without like landmarks and whatnot. So this is a different program that I'm used to using, but I think it's pretty cool. And like I can zoom in, obviously, so that we can use this as a battle grid. I hope y'all like mazes.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. And there's like, you know, it's a very interesting, unique challenge. But yes, you'll be going into at level 3. Milestones, I'm not really sure. I know y'all clearly leveled up, but sorry, I'm still doing that. I'm gonna figure that out. Well, I got y'all here. Pencil.
I have pencil. Can you borrow? Oh, that one.
You know, in fact, well, I was gonna say let's just call it all level 3 and just take any spillover, but let's see. I had written down somewhere like what kind of like progression looked like, but I don't know where. But I'm pretty sure it was 5 milestones to level 3, and I mean, it's really hard to like define today's game because there was not like little specific bits that you could really kind of easily call it an encounter, I guess. You know, encounter means something that there's some kind of challenge involved. And so like today, you know, the party like presents a lot of challenges, like getting in, being armed, not getting thrown out for some reason. You know, there was like lots of risk of failure there, whether, you know, they didn't like, some of them are worse than others. And then there was the
Parliament?
yeah, the Parliament building, and I mean that was like really the only 2 like things that had like some kind of like risk reward type thing.
When he came by later.
That's true. Yeah, you guys.
Tether went in on him.
Yeah, that is true. So we're gonna call it for each of those 1 milestone. So that would put you at 6 total, if I'm not mistaken. So you will have 1 that carries over to level 3.
And so it's 1 out of 5?
No. Every time you level up, the amount of milestones increases. Let's go with 2 more milestones per level, so 7 is what you're going to need to go up in level next time.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you guys wanted to cover before we wrap it up? Or
Dustin,
yes, we do need to talk about Dustin, and so I know that there's like no real loot this session, but kind of like the roleplay thing where roleplay versus combat. You're gonna have some sessions where you don't really get anything, but there will be opportunities to earn loot coming up. This particular game, if you guys end up winning, the rewards are really, really good. But you might not, because you're competing against 7 other teams.
Mm-hmm.
So they are going to be trying to win too. And, you know, I'll explain the rules of that particular game when it comes. But that will be fun. So Dustin, yeah, I mean, you know, I had this really intense conversation with Dustin. He really, really wanted to play. He really, really wanted me to give him a chance, and I did. You know, I said, okay, you know, we're willing to try out having you Yeah, go ahead and wrap up the recording now, because this is all a bunch of blah blah that, we don't really need to go over again.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, if anybody ends up listening, thank you for joining us, and
Sorry you don't get to hear our secrets.
hope
Yes.
you get to again.
Okay.
Let me know when that is.
It looks to be off, at least on YouTube.